It feels really good to be back up and running. The operation is getting back to normal during this afternoon. We're expecting about half of our flights to be operating today.
Okay. And how are you coping with the backlog?
Well, it's very early days at the moment. Passengers are returning. They're in good mood at the moment, and we're trying to work on getting passengers away as quick as possible.
Do you have any idea when the backlog is likely to be clear and operations will be fully up and running again?
In part, that's dependent on the flight schedule, but we anticipate that will be over the course of the probably next 3 or 4 days.
Okay, great. And how have staff coped with chaos of the last few days?
Staff have been absolutely fantastic at Southampton Airport. As you know, we've won awards previously around being the most friendly airport in Europe, and they've done a magnificent job over the last few days, and indeed will again today.
Excellent. And what reaction have you had from customers regarding the problems?
I think passengers have been understanding of the situation, but are now very relieved to be flying again and getting to their final destination.
And how much has the shutdown cost the airport in total?
I think that's something which we're going to have to look back, over the course of the next couple of weeks to see if passengers have delayed flying or those which may have gone by sea or rail. So the full impact, it's hard to tell actually at the moment.
Okay. And what do you think of the criticism of air traffic control? Some people have said they shouldn't have closed the airports down for as long as they have. What would be your answer to those critics?
I mean, my role is around running a safe, secure and efficient operation from an airport perspective. In terms of the safety in the airspace, that's really the domain of the CAA, so I'd prefer not to comment on it.
Okay, and would you say there's any lessons learned or anything through what's happened that you think would be done differently in the future?
I think this is an incredibly unusual event, but we are working with all our business partners to see what lessons have been learnt and how we can use that to inform future events.
And do you know in total how many passengers and flights this has affected?
In terms of number of passengers, that's going to be very difficult until we actually see the picture looking back in a couple of weeks' time. As I say, it depends how many passengers have actually decided not to travel or have gone by a different form of transport. So to take an overall impact, I think we should look back probably in about another 2 or 3 weeks' time.
Okay, and is there a message you'd like to give to passengers to about what's happened and where you're going in the future?
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's 2 key messages, one of which is you can rest assured that we're working very, very hard with all of the airlines at Southampton to get everybody back on track and to their destinations as quick as possible. But what I would advise passengers is to make sure they're contacting their own airline and their own websites for the latest information.
Okay, and you mentioned half the number of flights currently flying today. Is that right?
That's correct, because operations have only really started to commence around about lunchtime today, because we had to give passengers notice that flights would actually be operating today, because the news only came out about the middle of the evening last night.
Okay, and how long have you been at Southampton Airport?
I've been at Southampton Airport for 3.5 years.
I mean, is this the biggest challenge you faced in your time here?
It's certainly one of the largest challenges. It's not every day that you have a volcano 1,000 miles away impacting on operations. It's certainly an unusual event and one which let's hope doesn't happen again.
And how does it feel to be back on track and have passengers in your airport queuing up for flights again?
I think the smile on my face says it all, and when you speak to staff, I think that's the biggest sign.